In this video, I'm gonna rank every single slap item in Fortnite history from worst to best. These are items that are 1, either part of the slap series of items, or 2, give the slap effect when you use them, which is essentially infinite stamina for a short period of time. And before you yell at me in the comment section saying that I missed some items, I do acknowledge that there are plenty of items that function similarly to the slap effect. So, I don't know, think like the kinetically charged Shuri's claws. But I want this video to be mainly themed around the slap line of items, so I'm only including the items which outwardly express the fact that they have the slap effect as part of them. Something like the Heisted running gun SMG is part of the slap series of items because literally in its description it says gives you the slap effect. So I hope that makes sense. If you do go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. We are pushing for 100,000 subscribers, and use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop when you get the chance. But with all that out of the way, let's finally get into the ranking. At number 9, in my opinion, the worst slap item in Fortnite history, it is going to be the slap berry. I also forgot to mention it in the intro. If I still sound kind of nasally, yeah, I'm still getting over the flu, to be honest with you. But anyways, the slap berry is really just not a great item. It's really like any foraged item you find. You normally get 5 health or shield, and in this case gives you actually 5 effective health, so health or shield, and you can stack 15 of them. But, you know, for the most part, you're probably not going to be able to find 15 of them in one game. I honestly, don't really have a lot to say here. I mean, you guys all understand why it's in last place. At number 8 is actually 2, I don't even know if I can consider them items. It's actually going to be the Adrenaline Rush boon and then the more parkour augment from chapter 4. So I really never ever rank augments, but this is one of the few times where an augment definitely should be on this list, and they both do the exact same thing. They grant you the slap effect when mantling, hurdling, or in chapter 6 case, wall jumping as well. I definitely think that this is a useful boon. Like, again, boons will never hurt you when you take them, right? Because they don't take up an inventory slot, so you're always going to take it. Now, in chapter 4 with an augment, when you have limited selections, would I be taking this augment? Probably not. And is the Adrenaline Rush boon the best in chapter 6? I would say probably not. But I think that, yes, there definitely is a time and place for this item. It's just realistically, right, guys, like, how much higher can I put this item? I don't think much higher than this. At number 7, though, and in my opinion, where the list really starts to flip over into some pretty good items, is the Slap Juice. Now, this is the originator of the Slap series of items from Chapter 4, Season 1, and it's really unique in how it works, right? The fact that you can use this heal while moving at full speed, that was a big deal back then. Maybe not so much now, you know, when you can move while taking every heal, but especially in chapter 4 when you couldn't do that. The fact that you could use this item and, you know, just kind of run in a circle and heal and not having to be, you know, standing still, that was a really big deal. And yes, it only gives you 15 health, which is one of the, you know, main downsides about it. And you can only stack 6. So if you do the math, that is less than 100 health. 6 slap juices is going to give you less health than a medkit. But what a medkit won't give you is 50 seconds of slap. That's 50 seconds of essentially infinite stamina. And obviously you can kind of space that out, right? You can take one slap juice, use the 50 seconds of infinite stamina, and then pop another one right after, and then get another 50 seconds of stamina. The only reason why it's kind of low on this list is just the fact that it gives you no health. There are items on this list that will give you a slap duration for a longer time and give you more health. So yeah, there's just no way slap juice could be pushed any higher. Moving up to number 6, I've got the Slap Splash, and this is a very interesting item because it functions almost identically to the slap juice and the fact that you get 15 effective health per use, but with the Slap Splash you only get 30 seconds of slap. And also, if someone accurately comments the exact amount of times that I say slap in this video, you know what, I'll pin your comment. But yeah, anyways, so the splash gives you 30 seconds of slap, while, you know, the slap juice gives you 50 seconds, but the splash lets you do it to teammates, which in my opinion is much more valuable. The ability to have, you know, 4 teammates all at once with infinite stamina for half a minute, that's really good, and for me is the core reason why the splash is better than just the base healing item. It's really the same thing with, you know, think about like a mini versus a chug splash. What would you rather have? You could almost think about it that way. And since we're talking about splash items, at the number 5 spot is the first exotic on this list, the Super Slap Splash. This item is absolutely unreal, and actually all of its stats are doubled from the regular Slap Splash. The Super Splash will give you 30 effective health per splash and will also give you 60 seconds, a full minute of infinite stamina. That is a really long time. My only complaint about this item, and I remember specifically from Chapter 4, Season 3, is they're just impossible to get your hands on. You basically have to get lucky to get them out of a llama, or get even more lucky and then be in, you know, a hollow chest spawn. And even at that, you'd have to have, you know, 2 keys to get it. But being able to provide a minute of infinite stamina and also 30 effective health to not only yourself, but also your teammates, yeah, that's incredibly valuable, and in my opinion, makes it a top 10 healing item of all time. But another pretty decent healing item on this list at the number 4 spot is the Lawless Slap Cannon. Now, if you've seen any of my recent, you know, Lawless exotic ranking videos, or just ranking every exotic video that I just did, you will know that I do not have a lot good to say about the Lawless Slap Cannon. And that's true. I don't know why this thing has durability, but I can't deny the fact that its healing capabilities are really good. And on a list like this, that's, well, let's be honest, pretty weak with items, well, yeah, the Slap Cannon is going to make it pretty high up. 20 effective health per use with 25 seconds of slap, and you do get a decent amount of uses before the item will break. Basically, more effective health than you would with any other item on this list, but it also, you know, takes up 2 inventory slots, so, you know, there's kind of the other half of the battle you're fighting there. Would I go out and use my precious dilbit on this item? Absolutely not, but you know what, if I see it on the ground and it's at a decent durability, yeah, sure, you know what, I'll take it. All right, moving inside the top 3, at my number 3 spot is the Lawless Slap Jug. Yes, this is the best healing item on this list. The Chug Jug rework was, you know, incredibly needed, to say the least. I think we can all agree on that. And so with the rework, just the regular legendary Chug Jug was good, 200 effective health. But then you use this and you get 400 effective health. I think the thing that's so good about the new Chug Jug is, you know, you don't have to be at, you know, a certain health limit or a certain shield limit if you want to use this item. And you know what? Let's say you get shot once and someone's pushing you, but you just want to get off, you know, a quick 20 health. Yeah, you can do that and then put the Chug Jug away and just kind of, you know, work your fight around the fact that you know that you can get heals whenever you want. And the fact that you get 400 here, that's going to last you several fights over and over again. What other healing items in Fortnite history can you say are going to last you multiple fights like that? In my opinion, not many. I just genuinely think that this is a really, really good healing item. But all right, I've got to move inside our top 2 because now we are starting to talk about some weapons. I think it was pretty obvious that the weapons were going to be up here at the top, but in what order, right? And at my number 2 spot, I've got the Lawless Twin-Fire Slap Shotgun. Again, I really don't see any other list in Fortnite history where this weapon would place number 2, but on a list like this that is pretty weak in its items, yeah, I mean, it's inside the top 2, but that's not saying much because I don't think this item is, well, really that great. The slap effect while you're holding it, infinite slap, is really, really good. It makes for some really, really good mobility outplays, and at the end of the day, like, it is a fully auto shotgun. And so if you get into somebody's box, then yeah, you know what, good things are going to happen most likely. Again, I think my real main complaint here is like, you only get so many dilbits in a game, right? You're lucky if you can get more than one, to be honest with you. And so are you going to use it on the Twin Fire Slap Shotgun? No, absolutely not. And are you even seeing this thing on the ground in game? I have not been. That's because people aren't buying it. Again, that's not to say that this weapon is bad. I don't think it's a bad weapon, especially in a weak shotgun meta like we've seen in Chapter 6 Season 2. I just think that there are better options out there. But in my opinion, at the number 1 spot, and it wasn't even close for this list, it's going to be the Heisted Run and Gun SMG, which I had mentioned at the beginning of this video. Yes, it does give you infinite slap every single time that you hold out the weapon. So being able to combine mobility and a weapon in one slot, that is really, really good. It's something that I forgot to mention with the Twin Fire Slap Shotgun, but you know what? I'm mentioning it here. And honestly, in my opinion, the biggest lacking thing for this weapon is just the accuracy, right? But that's just what you get from the P90 as a whole. You get a ton of bullets, a really fast fire rate, somewhat low damage. But if you're up close and personal, right, none of that stuff really matters, right? You're going to shred with this thing. Only thing left I got to say here is, yeah, the Heisted Blink Mag SMG is completely superior to this SMG. But you know what? The running gun isn't too shabby itself. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that, you know, really quick video, honestly. I knew that this was going to be a short video, but it's something that I had seen requested from you guys for a little bit now. And to be honest with you, this is just the start of a bunch more videos coming very soon. If you did go on to enjoy this video and want to see more like it, please be sure to leave it a like. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.